My only advice is to stay aware, listen carefully, and yell for help if you need it. Everything is relative in this world, where change alone endures. Without knowing the force of words, it is impossible to know more. Maybe some things aren't meant to be known. Maybe they're just meant to be accepted. Those whose upper and lower ranks have the same desire are victorious. Imagination is the highest form of research. What the caterpillar calls the end, the rest of the world calls a butterfly. If you have the guts to be yourself, other people will pay your price. To truly laugh, you must be able to take your pain and play with it. Small circle, private life, and peaceful mind. Sometimes the grass is greener, sometimes it is sick. If your actions don't live up to your words, you have nothing to say. Even though the ship may go down, the journey goes on. To forget the whole world is easy. To make the whole world forget you is hard. Fear is nothing more than a negative assessment of risk. If everything seems under control, you're not going fast enough. The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. The search for truth is more precious than its possession. Sometimes, not getting what you want is a brilliant stroke of luck. I will continue my path, but I will keep a memory always. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. A tiny change today brings a dramatically different tomorrow. It is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Slowing down was how we remembered what we never wanted to forget. Learn from who you were, appreciate who you've become, and carefully invest into who you want to be. Just be real. It saves everyone's time. But every difference of opinion is not a difference of principle. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. I'm a greater believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand. How quick come the reasons for approving what we like. What cannot be said, above all must not be silenced, but written. Strange, how the best moments of our lives we scarcely notice except in looking back. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Money is better than poverty, if only for financial reasons. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Do not fear the thorns in your path, for they draw only corrupt blood. Nobody ever lives their life all the way up, except bullfighters. Set the troops to their tasks without imparting your designs. If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. In order to attain the impossible, one must attempt the absurd. Rewards for good service should not be deferred a single day. Knowledge is responsibility, which is why people resist knowledge. If you only shine light on your flaws, all your perfects will dim. In business, professionalism is not a tactic, but a moral value. When the position is such that neither side will gain by making the first move, it is called temporizing ground. People wealth consists upon their freedom, individual resources, and good social life. To attain knowledge, add things every day. To attain wisdom, remove things every day. True words are not fancy. Fancy words are not true. The good do not debate. Debaters are not good. Grace isn't a little prayer you chant before receiving a meal. It's a way to live. Study the past if you want to define the future. Don't leave it all unsaid, somewhere in the wasteland of your head. After all, if you run far enough, no one can catch you. Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. A lion chased me up a tree, and I greatly enjoyed the view from the top. Don't be afraid of failure. This is the way to succeed. If you think you have enough knowledge, you are still ignorant. Always be a learner. If something is important, it deserves to be experienced deeply. Sometimes we create our own heart, breaks through expectation. It's often only in the lies we refuse to speak that any truth can be heard at all. Patience is the only way you can endure the gray periods. Rely not on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on our own readiness to receive him. The easiest way to be reborn is to live and feel life every day. You are in charge of your own happiness. You don't need to wait for other people's permission to be happy. It's such a shame to waste time. We always think we have so much of it. Everything is created twice, first in the mind and then in reality. You often meet your fate on the road you take to avoid it. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. Your life is a reflection of your thoughts. Think well. Remember that you are only alive now. This is the only moment you have. Embrace it. Go slowly so that you do not bite your tail by accident. Silence and non-action are the root of all things. The truth doesn't mind being told every once in a while. I had forgotten how much light there is in the world till you gave it back to me. Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. To have a human form of a joyful thing, but in the universe of possible forms, there are others just as good. Nothing is permanent in this wicked world, not even our troubles. The moon and the stars shine, even when the clouds hide the sunbeams. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. With regard to narrow passes, if you can occupy them first, let them be strongly garrisoned and await the advent of the enemy. If a general shows confidence in his men, but always insists on his orders being obeyed, the gain will be mutual. Lower your expectations, but never lower your standards. An unexciting truth may be eclipsed by a thrilling falsehood. Everything has its beauty, but not everyone sees it. During a conversation, listening is as powerful as loving. Stop trying to create a new you around the same old people. I is for integrity. Be honest with yourself and others. Travel light, live light, spread the light, be the light. All shall be done, but it may be harder than you think. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources. I cried because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet. It shocks me how I wish for what is lost and cannot come back. Despite the heart-numbing frost, my soul is blooming like spring. The older I grow, the more I distrust the familiar doctrine that age brings wisdom. Your preciousness lies in your essence. It cannot be lost by anything that happens. Communism is the final logic of the dehumanization of man. Invincibility lies in the defense, the possibility of victory in the attack. It's hard not to feel happy when you make someone smile. We need to be fit and ready for anything that might come our way.